Okay, so now we're going to be looking at slope from a real life situation. So we just talked about slope from 2 points, and what we're going to see is that we can actually use that kind of same skill set to figure out the slope from a real life situation. So remember, the slope in a real life situation is the rate of change. We're talking about, in this real life situation, how are things changing? Okay, so let's do a couple examples. How many quizzes are taken per week if the same number are taken each week? Now look, here's the information we have. That after 3 weeks, there's been 12 quizzes taken. And after 5 weeks, there's been 20 quizzes taken. So we can actually kind of view this as 1 point. This is like the point 312, and then this is like the point 520. So we can actually even use the slope formula, totally fine, that'll totally work. I could do x1, y1, x2, y2. I can also, just like before, observe the change in x, right? This is the change in x, delta x is used to describe the change in x, sorry, and the change in y, okay? So either way, all right, let's take a look. So let's do it with the slope formula, and then we'll observe how that's the same as just observing the change, okay? So if I do the slope formula, that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 20 minus 12 is 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. I can simplify this, right? 8 divided by 2, that's 4. So how many quizzes are taken each week? 4 quizzes, okay? Now, in terms of shortcuts, let's take a look. I could have observed just the change in x. So what's the change in x from 3 to 5? Oh, that's add 2, look. The change in y, 12 to 20. Oh, that's add 8. Here it is, okay? So you can absolutely use the slope formula every time, or you can just observe the change in y over the change in x, okay? And we can see this makes sense, right? After 3 weeks, there was 12 quizzes, yeah. For each week, after 3 weeks, that's 12. After 5 weeks, that's 20, so this makes sense. So let's say there's 4 quizzes per week, right? That's the answer to our question. There are 4 quizzes per week, all right? Let's take a look. The temperature increases at a constant rate throughout the morning. At 5 a.m., it's 58 degrees, and at 9 a.m., it's 70 degrees. How many degrees does the temperature increase each hour? Okay, we're going to just use the strategies that we have. This is 1 point. At 1 point in the day, the time is 5 a.m., and the degrees is 58 degrees. Okay, so we're going to say time is our x, right? This is going to be our x1 and our y1, and degrees is our y. Okay, then here, time is again our x, so this is 9 a.m., and degrees is our y. Okay, so at this point in the day, it's 9 a.m. and it's 70 degrees, so this is our x2, y2. So if we do our slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 70 minus 58 is 12. 9 minus 5 is 4. I can simplify this. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So let's see. And then also, again, remember I can observe the change in x here is 4, and the change in y is 12, right? And we can see, oh yeah, 4 hours have passed, and it went up 12 degrees. So that means it went up 3 degrees each hour, right? How many degrees does the temperature increase each hour? 3 degrees every hour is how much it increases, okay? So notice for both of these, what I did is I created 2 points. And then I just use exactly the same strategies that I used up here. So here, like this point, this is a point in the day, this is a point in the day. Look, this was a point in the semester, this was a point in the semester. And I just made this into a point, 312. I made this into a point, 520. And then you can just use the same strategies that you had here.